at the end, we'll have 26 years of maintenance that we'll have, possibly more if we don't use all the money. So we could have anywhere, a minimum of 26 years. We could have as much as 30 years. But we've got to do something. We've got to, it's our responsibility. It's our jail. It belongs to the citizens of this county, so we've got to maintain it. Or we're going to have a judge come back in here and tell us fix it again. So this is our way of fixing it. And I'm going to introduce that resolution as a motion.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to just add to that. Mr. Kate was saying that now all that money, the initial $400,000, it cannot be. It will have to be a time of period because you can't go in there and do everything to the jail because you'd have to move everybody out. Correct. But it's going to make some major changes to start with, and it's going to be at the discretion. The sheriff, whoever the sheriff is, will have to come before the commission with bidding, the proper bidding, for us to approve what they spend. So.
Okay, any further discussion, any more comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Hardy, we've covered you, right?
Thank God.
Mr.
Yes,
Headley,
sir.
Do you have anything?
I'm good.
Mr. Langston?
Yes, I'd like to clarify one thing to my neighbor next door. My name is Steve Langston. I have nothing new. Mr.
Well
Chairman.
deserved.
That's
Oh,
My.
Commissioner Moore? Okay.
I deserve
All right,
that.
so we're on to the commission office. I have skipped something. I apologize. So let me run back. I had an issue that came up late today that's a bit sensitive, so I'm gonna try to figure out how to word this without putting ourselves in any kind of legal bind. We have an employee, Stephanie Burnett, who missed work between February 1st and February 6th. Miss Burnett was involved in an alleged, she was the victim of an alleged crime, and she was advised by the Alabama State Bureau of Investigation that while that crime was being investigated, that she should take time away from her work here. And she has written us and asked us to reinstate the sick time that she took out of her sick bank from those days that were taken away. And she has attached a letter that each of you have from the Bureau recommending that she take those days off while they were doing this investigation. So I'm going to ask that you guys reinstate the sick time that she used. And I would ask for a resolution for that.
I'll make a motion, we accept that.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to reinstate Stephanie Burnett's sick time that was taken February 1st through February 6th. Any further discussion?
Is she back at work?
Yes.
How long has she been?
I'm not sure. I think she came back the Monday after the 6th, if I'm not mistaken. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Now, I'm sorry, Miss Sylvia.
The first thing on my list is to hear nominations for appointment to the Water Board. Nominations were open at the last meeting.
We can't vote tonight, can we?
Are there any further nominations? Hearing none at this time, we'll leave that open, and they'll remain open until our next meeting. And if we will close the nominations at our next meeting and vote on all those who have been nominated.
Okay. My next request is a resolution to approve line item transfers from our operating fund for our annual maintenance of our software. From line items 472, 5200, from 182, 1800, and from 470, 600, for a total of $7,600. The $7,600 will go into that R&M for data processing equipment. line item 235.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
The last request I have is a resolution to authorize the release of the excess funds to Wesley Hicks for the attached list of property, the excess bid from the tax sales, in the amount of $29,727.66, and he has provided the proper documentation.
So moved. Oh, second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
That's all I have.
Great. Attorney? Nothing from the attorney. Under old business, we still have policy and procedures manual, and I think we have a work session scheduled March the 5th? March the 5th at 6 PM? March the 5th at 6 PM, where we hope to complete how many years?
Well,
Seems like a lifetime. If there's no further business, I would love to have a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Have a motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.